No.
Who wants to do the pledge? Andres, you want to lead us in the pledge, please? Andres, do you want to lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, great job. All right, Izzy, Rotarians and guests, let's start at our table number 1 here. We have a guest, Jennifer Morelli. Please, Coriel, please stand up.
This is Jennifer. I'm Jennifer. I'm back again and in the process with Terri of joining. So thank you for having me.
All right. We go way back. She's a great friend of mine. So, any other guests at this table here? Mary, welcome. Always good to see you. Table 2.
Yeah. I have Shannon Maciel from Redwood Capital Bank. You should have all gotten an email about her. Yeah, no objections.
All right, in the back there. All right. Table back here. Guests or Rotarians or interactors.
My name is Finn.
Finn and all right, hey, welcome. All right, and table 1, welcome Sophie, president of NBR. Please check it on Facebook and take pictures and post all the fun we have. So, rock the vote on your tables. You'll see that we are voting for our president nominee for 2019, 2020. That seems like a long way off, but that's where we're at. So, anyway, please vote yes or no for AJ, and we'll have Nick come around and pick the ballots up and see who wins. Hold it to half, exactly. No writing.
Next year? All those are well, AJ.
All right, Sojourning Sunrisers or other recognitions in general. Did anyone do any traveling or any fun stuff with Terri?
Well, I wasn't here last week, but 2 weeks ago I time traveled back to the 70s.
Oh.
And you know, a girl never gets over her first love, and I spent the evening with Chris Christopherson and many other people, but and my husband understands. So anyway, it was fabulous. It was the first time I'd seen him, and I expect he won't be touring very much longer, so it was lovely to time travel.
All right, thank you, Terri. Any other fun stuff happened last week, or any other time travelers out there? That counts too. Yeah.
We went. Well, we haven't been here in a while. We did travel over New Year's, so we got to go to see LA and see lots of close friends and relatives. But then we also got to go spend a couple days with Joshua Tree.
Oh wow.
Which was pretty awesome. It was neat because we spent all of Christmas with like my parents and other friends and grandparents. We went to Joshua Tree. It was just the 4 of us, like me and my husband and my 2 kids, and so it was really awesome. We went for some nice hikes. The weather was beautiful. And the desert in the winter is our favorite. We got to go with 4 4-wheeling out in the desert, and so yeah, it was really awesome.
That sounds great.
And we did a makeup at the Rotary meeting in 29 Palms. So.
Wow. Oh wow!
Yeah, it was. I swear the guests were about half the people there. There was only maybe about total. What do you say, Mary? Like 20 people. She says 20 at most, but yeah, it was really great. Their lunch was free.
Oh wow!
There you go. That's our update.
I'm going to give you a real brief Portland report. So we moved in our place in Portland in late September, and I am the master of assembling IKEA. I actually went and had 17 cartons delivered for a bunch of bookcases and stuff. So, anyway, thank goodness for Scandinavian instructions. But we're settled in, and I'm almost unpacked, you know, almost. I actually last week went through probably 30 banker's boxes of family memorabilia. Wow. Never again. So don't move after you've lived someplace 47 years. But anyway, we're enjoying ourselves a lot, and I'm here for tax season.
It's good to see you here. What were you saying, Terry?
I said some of us knew that, and we didn't have to move to find that out. I already know.
Rachel.
Oh, I just wanted to say I had my first beer tasting with Dave and Lori. So that was fun for the Fortuna seafood boil. So the seafood boil was a lot of fun. They just dumped it all on your table. Dustin was there, Ray was there, Lori, Lisa, Melinda, me, Siva's mom. 1, 2, 2. And then I also saw Chris Christopherson, so I saw Terry there, I was sitting behind her, so it was fun. Went back to the 70s too.
Maybe a few. All right then. Let's see, moving forward. Anniversaries. Howard, you had an anniversary.
Yes. 26th. It's the 33rd anniversary. And we are having a quiet meal at home that evening. And we're going to talk to each other about the special things we like about each other. So,
Yay!
Dancing, you guys know how to dance. Let's see, no birthdays this past week, but maybe next week. We'll try.
Next Saturday.
Let's see. Recognition. So, our newest CEO, John, where are you? Let's hear from you. Go. You don't get off that easy.
It's not that big a deal. I'm doing the same job, I just got more authority to do it. Very hopeful. It's going to be an interesting next few years. Starting to course correct a big ship, and now I'm plugging leaks and attaching new plating and other analogies that don't really work. I'm looking for stuff to say in front of a room. But mostly I'm just grateful to the folks who got me here, which is everybody who works for me and my board. But thank you very much for the congratulations. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, please do send recognitions to this email here, Mary. I see you said. I did.
What?
When was that?
It was January 2nd.
Oh, so yeah, we're going back a month. Okay. Well, what did you do? Happy anniversary.
We were in Joshua Tree.
That's what I'd seen. That's what I was supposed to do, Mary. I tied it all together earlier.
We just went out to dinner at the 29 Palms Inn, which was apparently the nicest restaurant in town, recommended to us by the Chamber of Commerce, which we visited earlier in the day. And yeah, it was kind of cheesy and nice. It was really cute. It was fun to go out to dinner with my husband. We left the kids back we rented a little a house, so we left the kids back at the house.
And
And we did the annual reading of the vows. I maintain a laminated copy of my wedding vows in my purse in case there's any argument about what I promised. We do an annual reading of the vows. He's got them in his wallet. I've got them in my purse. So we did our annual reading as the sun was, as the moon was rising. Unfortunately, our vows are rather vague, so you can pretty much argue either way to your favor, depending. Yeah, it was fun.
I am headed to a laminator today.
thank you, Mary. All right, rise of other events. So, you get the email or the sign up sheet, I'm assuming from Brian, if you have email me or him, but we have Dictionaries for Kids coming up next week, which is going to be fun. It's always a good time. Charter night, Jess, do you want to say anything more about that?
Sure.
Yes, I'm over here today. Oh, good perspective, I know.
Yeah,
Let's see. It's great. We're up to 60 people that have RSVP'd. There's a handful of you that may or may not have. We've tried to, members of the committee have made phone calls to anybody that we haven't heard from. And if you received one of those, please either reply, send a text, send an email, just so that we know whether or not we should count on you. Let's see. So it's not tonight, but next Friday. That's a 2-for meeting. This was one of Dustin's goals during the year, that he wanted to have a meeting day where we met in the morning and we met in the evening. So let's see how many people we can get to come to both meetings. That would be very cool. The other thing is it's potluck. People with last names A through D, please bring appetizers. With last names E through N, please bring side dish or salad. And with last name P through Z, please bring dessert. The club will be providing tri-tip. And so this, just so that everybody dresses appropriately, it is a working distillery, which means that it could be a little bit chilly. So please dress with layers, you know, that it's rustic, and so please don't, black tie is not encouraged. Yes. So find your Humboldt layers and come out. It should be a really fun time, I think. So yeah, are there any questions? Great.
No, that sounds great, guys. Thank you. And Romy for putting it together. Awesome.
And the fellowship committee.
Let's go to cleanup. Brandy, do you want to say something about that?
I do have the sign-up sheet in my car. I'm going to bring it up here, but I did have about a dozen of you sign up. Thank you very much. And if you still have a burning desire, you can still join us. It's 9:30 to noon on Saturday the 10th of February. It's going to be all ages, rain or shine. If it's stormy, windy, we want to have fun, so we will cancel at that point. Anyway, come join us.
Great, yeah, thank you.
If you have any questions, just email me.
Questions, you have to email Brandy. And College Career Day and History Day, March 3rd. Jeff, yeah, you want to say something or just?
I think the past couple of times I've said quite a bit, but the pancake breakfast is a lot of fun. Please, if you have the time, bring friends, family, members of the community. Come to it, it's great. It helps support College and Career Center. And History Day, same day, wow. And History Day judges are needed. So if you have the time, it's from 7 in the morning till about noon. They supply free lunch for you after the event. But it's a great time. It's when the kids become the teachers and you get to sit there and listen and learn. So the theme this year, I think, is conflict and compromise. So it should be fun.
And you're still accepting for breakfast, right?
Still accepting sponsorships or donations or whatever you'd like to give, yes. Always.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I just wanted to let everyone know that this weekend is the country reveal and the zipline trip for Youth Exchange, and Travis will find out where he's going on exchange for us.
All right, yeah, look forward to hearing about that. Yeah, that's exciting. Spring fundraiser, 9th and 10th, setup day and an actual day. We'll talk about that at the end of the meeting. Adopt a Highway, we're going to kind of double up with Earth Day and do a social after the highway cleanup. So we'll hear more about that as we get closer to that date. And then we have the Big Brothers Big Sisters Mentor Challenge, which let's see Laura here today. She talked about it last weekend, Crystal. So we'll hear more about that in the coming weeks, I assume, because we're in a competition for the club. So let's win. Izzy, you want to talk about your week? Make some noise.
Last weekend we went to the cabin of Julian's Den, and I brought my friend Laura. She's also an exchange student, and yeah, we had fun there. And this weekend I started Valentunes with my group, and so I had to wake up at like 6 every day. But it's fun, it's great. And this weekend with Travis we're going to the review weekend and ziplining. It's going to be fun.
All right, wow, that sounds special. Thank you very much. All right, so now we have an update and kind kind of a pitch for the Financial Assistance Committee. Randy, you gotta take over here.
Good morning, Arcata. Good morning. Okay, so the Financial Assistance Committee, if you could stand, so I know we have a lot of new people so that they can see who you are. If you're here, Maggie Kraft, Dick Johnson, Charlie Jordan, Mark Burchett, Rachel Dammy, Robert Goodman.
I'm here.
And me. So we started out the year, and I apologize for no graphics. I certainly did not meet the Heller standards because I've been gone all week. So I'm just going to kind of summarize our monthly report. But we do a monthly report that goes to the board meeting packet, so you can always go online to see what we're doing. But we started out with a budget of $9,000, which we appreciate to the board because last year we got to mid-year in December and we were in the hole. We had given away everything. So at this point, we have given, we've dispersed about $5,050, and we have a remaining about $39.50 left. So all the accountants in the room, I hope I didn't make a mistake. So just go through quickly what we have done. And well, kind of how it works is this is the committee that does not meet. So we've never had a meeting except once when Howard's administration, when he required all committees to meet. So what we do is we get requests, and sometimes they're handed through members, like we had a couple members this last year have forwarded requests to us. And sometimes we have groups that contact us, they'll send it through the mail. So kind of what we look for is, something that we could send in an email to all the members. So I send them out to the members, and then they deliberate online, and then I count the votes, and then if it's voted, we decide how much to fund, and yes or no. And then if it's quorum, a majority of yes, then send an email to Brian Reeser, and he sends them a check. And one of the things that we're doing is we're asking the people that are that we give the funds to take a picture for us, showing the funds in action. It could be down the road, but one of the things that we're trying to get better at is to let the community know where the folks that support our fundraisers, how those funds are being applied, so that they have an idea. Because sometimes it's kind of quiet, people really don't know that we're behind all these things. So here's a quick rundown of what we've done. $500 to the Arcata Playhouse to remodel their office. And this came through Barbara Browning, and they have numerous programs and events for area teenagers. And $750 the Senior Resource Center to help them replace the food carts in a central kitchen. And they help they do 500 meals a week for seniors and 3 lunch sites. And then during the summertime, they do 300 to 500 meals per day for summer youth programs. $500 to the Rising Stars Foundation to help send kids to the 2018 State Science Fair in Los Angeles. Those are really expensive, so it's supporting the families a little bit. It doesn't pay for the whole thing, but helps the gas and hotel costs. $1,000 toward the purchase of some specific items. That was Lisa's program, for the firestorms. So, in Sonoma County, so $1,000 went to the Sonoma County people for items, and I think Lisa covered all that, what that went to. But that was a great thing that we were able to mobilize that very quickly. I think within a day, and $1,000, and Lisa went shopping and loaded the trailer, took off to Sonoma County, Mendocino.
It wasn't just me, there was other
Yes,
people.
and Romy went, I remember Romy.
And other people donated it. It wound up that we delivered something around $5,000 worth of stuff.
So that was a wonderful thing. Here's a new one this year, to $500 to the Redwood Equine Partners to support a reintegration and wellness program for veterans. And they're veterans from different eras, but the program is multi-generational, serves men and women, and it's a very successful program here, so we're glad to be kind of helping them start out on that program. 300 big brothers and big sisters, bowling for kids' sake. We all know that. That's something that we've done almost every year for quite a while. 500 in the North Coast Rape Crisis Team. They've been in place for 44 years. And having worked with them many times over the years, they are an incredible organization, so we were very pleased to be able to help them. 500 to Mad River Alliance, and we just had, they just did a program here. Dave Farrell did the program here, so this is going to go towards modular learning kits for introducing ecological concepts, technical skills, water safety, and so these are going to be sort of training, educational kits to help them with the school tours that come through there. And then 500 to Freshwater School to help them purchase a marimba for their music program. And now Freshwater School's a little bit out, and I think this came through Jess, didn't it? And it's they're a little bit out there, but the thing is they supply a lot of students to Arcata High. And Marimba One, our local marimba dealer, has given them an incredible deal. So they're on a fundraising, they're fundraising now, so we agreed with them to hold the 500 until they get their full funding. When they do, we'll have Brian send them a check and they'll get that marimba. So that is any questions? That is the report of their financial assistance.
Thank you, Randy.
Were you backstage in the green room or something?
Yeah, exactly. So essentially every week we're going to have these committee updates, and it's kind of an engagement process to get everyone introduced to what the committees are and what we do. I got to stand right here. I need a line. And for the newer members and stuff, to kind of to get them to learn a little bit more about each committee, and then now that we have these segmented online and in the Sunrise Spirit on our website, it'll be easy for us to direct people there at any time to go check them out. So thank you, Randy, and everyone else. Romy?
And the way that we do all of that good, that money comes from the spring fundraiser. Your posses, have you gotten together with your posses? Have you discussed what items you're going to come up with? Everybody two silent, which is between 100 and 500, and one Dutch raffle, which is 50 to 100. So that's the way we can do all the incredible good that we do. That was just one committee, and every committee is doing good. But we have to join together to raise the funds to do all that good. So you will receive an email soon with a little follow-up. So connect with your posses and figure out what items you're bringing, because we're going to want them well before the event, 1st of March. But we'd love them even sooner.
Thank you, Romy. Beautiful. All right, Paul Harris Fellow, Terri, please take over.
Most of you know that somebody who has donated $1,000 total cumulative to the Rotary Foundation becomes a Paul Harris Fellow. But we also sometimes as a club honor somebody who helps us, somebody who's in the community. And today we're really happy to present one to our wonderful server, Roxann, if she would come up, please. Jewelry. So there's a pin. When you wear that, everybody who's a Rotarian will know what that means. And we really appreciate it. We know this is a little bit out of your wheelhouse to be up at this hour of the morning, and you bring us coffee and you make sure we have food, and we really appreciate all that you do for us. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Wait 1 minute here. We're going to do this again. It's early, so there's our newest Paul Harris Fellow.
Yes, it is. It's your reading now.
So,
we're going to actually
do the raffle?
We're going to do the raffle first. Why
And that way people will have more money.
Exactly.
Right.
So our raffle time, Kayla, you've got the magic box there, so let's see what happens. 626. Right before Melinda.
It's really right. I think it's him. Let's just get drug it.
All right. $5. Next ticket.
823627.
Yay!
Be $60 or $5. You can have $5.
$5. $5. All right. Now you can get a profit on it. All right, and now Terry, please take over Fun Friday. Thank you.
I'm going to give a quick polio update. We have a lot of new people in the room who may not have heard some of the stories, so I'll do the snapshot of the polio eradication campaign. About 35 years ago, some Rotarians thought we could wipe out this disease, and they thought that, and in those days, about 185 countries still had polio, and they thought that they could figure the number of children in the world and times however much the dose cost and raise that much money, which was millions of dollars. And so that went well through the first world and the second world, and then they got to some really tough places where there was bias against anything that smacked of American, and even though Rotary is an international organization, it's an Illinois corporation, so and then there was prejudice and bias, and then there were wars. And in those days, the vaccine had to be kept refrigerated, and so they were talking about getting it across mountains with no refrigeration. And so there were just a lot of roadblocks that weren't anticipated. But the World Health Organization, the Centers for Disease Control got involved, and we got to have more international support. And then several years ago, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation got involved, and Bill Gates has said many times, I am with Rotary until it's done. We're your partners until it's done. So we're down to 3 countries where it still is endemic, which is really great. Unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, 2 Pakistani women were murdered in Pakistan on a mission of trying to give polio vaccine to children. So there's a reason now that Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria are the countries where it's still going on. And for the most part, Rotarians from outside those countries don't go to those countries to help because it's just too dangerous and safety can't be guaranteed. But these brave women were doing it anyway. And so it's just, we're not done. We're really this close. That's what you see all over the place. And there have only been about 2 cases this calendar year that are new. So the CDC and the World Health Organization have the science down. When there's a case anywhere, they can nail it to the street where that person got infected. I mean, it is that good, that close. And of course, along with polio, difficulties are the vaccination, the drops are oral, and so many of the children now in these countries, you know, where it's the hardest thing, they have dysentery. So the drops don't stay in them, they just go through. And so they have to be revaccinated, and they're trying to deal with other health issues while they're out there. So there are warriors who are doing this work on our behalf. And so any money that we can give to them and do our part by not going and being in physical harm's way, I think is a good thing. So we have met our polio goal for this year. That doesn't mean we can't give more, and so we will. I want to thank you again for all your creativity. I've been petting that bear that Romy brought. I don't know. I think if I took it home, my cats would be really jealous. But anyway, so thank you, and great. Let's start.
That's a good question. Do we start with alcohol, or alcohol?
Let's start with alcohol.
Alcohol. Make sure there's alcohol in it before I sip it. There's alcohol in this for sure.
Who donated It's Dark and Stormy Night? Oh, right there where your name is on the note? Yes, I didn't read that part. A note from Maggie Kraft, it says. It was a dark and stormy night. All you have is a book about all things murder, cigars, and a bottle of whiskey. Don't do anything you'll regret.
So, I think the first thing we learn is don't hang out with Maggie.
If you're aware of this, turn your cell phone off. You just don't want any, accidental things to happen with your cell phone when you're driving.
No. So, it's a lovely book, a bottle of Buchanan's Deluxe 12-year.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. So, I have a new favorite number. And there are cigars. My favorite number used to be 50. My new favorite number is 100 because 100's a better number for Rotary. So, do we have $100? We have 100. Do we have 110? Looking for 110.
You have to be over 21 to bid on it.
Wait a second. Do we have 110? We have 100. Greg. 100 going once. 100 going twice. Sold. 100. We'll give you the note so you know what her handwriting looks like.
Okay, we have,
It's the Japanese theme. Organic craft sake, Japanese green tea, wooden coasters with Japanese symbols, truth, peace, love, and family. So,
I'm leaving the tea over there, but it comes with it.
She just brings the alcohol.
And the coasters.
the alcohol we've established
This is from Andreas.
is an important part of our themes. So can we start the bidding at this on $50? Do we have $50? I have 50. Do I have 60? Looking for 60. I have $50. Do I have 60? Do I have 55? I have 50. 50 going once. 50 going twice. Sold. 50.
Price is paid. And remember, you can use your credit card, see Nick, if you're going to pay with a credit card. If you have cash or check, see me. This is from Romy. I'm just going to pet the bear.
Well, this is
items in there.
All right, and there's different items in
So
here.
they're sort of different age appropriate. This one is a really fun one for putting it all together, kind of like a Legos theme, but a little more challenging. And then all age, dry erase board on one side and the black and the chalkboard on the other side, so accommodates a variety of ages.
Well,
And the bear.
it does have the bear, and I think that we know where our bidding will start. For $50, $50 for the bear basket.
Well, I'm going to do 100.
You may, well, I was going to say, the next thing was if you're going to just walk around with bear like you own it, why don't we start it at 100?
It's now a use. Somebody could buy somebody could buy a well-loved bear for me.
We have $100 to take a bear from Terri.
Take a bear from Terri. Very soft bear. You should touch it.
We have 100. Do we have 110?
Oh, we do it.
Do we have 110?
It's okay, I won't hold a grudge.
We have 100 Yeshiva. Do we have 110? Do we have 120? We have 120. We have 110. We have 120. Do we have 130?
Can we have joint custody of the beer?
Invitation, right? Little kid, Terry.
Well, we have 120 going once. That is Siva.
Okay.
We have 120 twice. Sold to Siva. The comment is the bear's going to a little kid, but I notice you have the bear.
When I get to work, it's going to be with a coworker.
Okay. The rest of it's over here. Okay, this is from Susan Johnson. Gone but not forgotten.
Sure.
Can you read it? Here, I read it.
There's all kinds of cool things.
So it's a beautiful little bird house with flowers. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body in 2018. 4 60-minute massages, 2 30-minute personal training sessions, and a month of hot works. With a towel and mat provided, it sounds like something where you'll need to rest and sweat or vice versa.
We're gonna go up on this one quicker, I hope. So we're starting at 100. Do we have 100? We have 100. Do we have 110? Do we have 120? Yeah. Looking for 130. We have 140. We have 140.
Standing out of the way.
I'm sorry, we have moved up to. Do we have 310? Wow, that was quick. Do we have 310? 300 going once, 300 going twice, 300. So,
you know, we saw Sita's mom do the same thing at the Fortuna Sunrise fundraiser Saturday. We know where she gets it from.
This is how you get what you want.
She outdid me and then gave me. That's sweet. You just make her feel bad and she's like, I know.
Okay, I've got another bag here.
That's the same one. That's the bear bag.
No, this is this goes to see that. Okay. Okay, something from the Hard Rock Cafe. Who did this?
Oh, what is it?
It's Hard Rock Cafe.
Jimmy Kimmel's bag.
Oh, that's mine, yeah.
That you want to tell us?
Yes, I do want to tell you. I'm a big fan of late night comedy, and thanks to Hulu all day long. So last summer, Susan and I went down and we were enjoying Chris and Lisa's vacation rental in Newport, and we Ubered up to Hollywood and we went to see Jimmy Kimmel show being taped in the afternoon. And so when I was standing in line, I walked. Well, of course, it's in the afternoon you go, and the Hard Rock Cafe is right across the street. So there's a coffee cup in there. There is a T-shirt from Jimmy Kimmel. There's a couple of shot glasses in there, and then just so I wasn't, totally left out, there is a bottle of tequila in there too. So that's some shot glasses.
And 2 beer glasses, right?
2 beer glasses from the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood. So yeah, really good time. And maybe the best part is your new lunch bag there. You can use it.
So Jimmy Kimmel, so people know that you have a good sense of humor.
Right.
So do we have $100 for a good sense of humor? 100. Looking for 100. Do we have 75? Looking for 75. All right. 50. We have 50. Do we have 60? Do we have 60? 55. We have 60. 60. Do I have 70? Do I have 70? Do I have 60 going once? 60 going twice. 60.
2.
Sold. Right there. On camera.
It's kind of tippy, so be careful.
So am I.
And I like that you have a variety of sizes for your tequila receptacle. There are shot glasses, there's a coffee cup, and there's a beer mug.
It's on the time of day.
I haven't shown enough.
So this is from Robert, yes?
Yeah. Surprisingly enough.
2004 Cabernet Sauvignon. You want to tell us about it?
Well, those grapes came from Napa on Hell Mountain. There's a very limited amount of grapes. That's pretty good drinking wine. I enjoy it. I don't know. It's just a bottle cap to me.
Thank you.
Well, just a bottle of cap, I guess. I can go straight back to my favorite number because 50 is the number that works. So let's start at 50. I have $50. Do I have 60? Do I have 55? I have 50. 50 going once. 50 going twice. 50. Sold.
So,
Who got it?
those of you who know me know I don't cook. I'm married to a cook. I sometimes cook maybe 3 times a year. I think I cooked once this year so far, so I'm almost done. I just don't. I sew. I'm sorry. But The year before last, at Christmas time, ABC News was running a Made in America thing after the news at Christmas, and my husband adores maple syrup. He feels like life might end if he doesn't have a couple gallons in the house. You know, it's his security thing. So they were advertising this company in Vermont called Run Amok Syrup. So I got online and I ordered this 3-pack of big ones like that. And he adored them. I did not tell him how much I paid for them, because even though he's a really generous person, he doesn't think he deserves good stuff. So he's kind of a cheapskate with himself. And I'll just say that if you spend $60 with Run Amok, the shipping's free, so you know how much I paid for the 3 bottles of syrup. Anyway, Valentine's Day comes around last year. I ordered him a different 3-pack. Didn't open it till Valentine's Day. They sent me the same 3-pack. And so at the same time, they sent me a customer service follow-up email and said, is everything okay? And I said, well, we love your stuff, but you sent me the wrong one, and they had given me a $5 credit. And the woman was very apologetic, Jennifer, and about an hour later, she said, we're sending the new one to you, don't send us the old one back. So the next day, the FedEx guy shows up, or how you get something from Vermont to us, you know, in a day. Anyway, so I love Run Amok. I love their story. I love everything about them. I sent it to my sister for her anniversary, and she called me. We don't know if we should put it on our hotcakes or just put it in a shot glass. So there's no judging. So one is bourbon barrel aged, one is smoked with pecan wood, one is cinnamon vanilla infused, and one is lime leaf infused. And on their website, there are lots of recipes for marinades and drinks, and just putting it on pancakes and waffles. So that's my pitch for Run Amok Syrup.
Nice.
Well, I don't want to go to my favorite number, so I'll go to 100, because sure, let's start at 100, because it's expensive syrup and nobody else has it. So do we have 100? No. Okay, how about 75? We have Julie, we have 100. I'm the worst auctioneer ever. So we have 100. Do we have 110? We have 110. We have 100. 100 going once. 100 going twice. Sold.
My friend Janet calls me a crap dealer when I do things like this, because the first one is free. You know, I'll sort of ish, but you won't. This won't be your last. Okay. I don't know if I can carry this. You want to tell us about this, Charlie?
Sure. Okay. So it was a dark and stormy day, and I was out with my parents, and I saw this basket, and it totally transported me to a nice, warm, sunny patio with yummy goodies on the table and a Costco-size margarita mix. It would complete with the mix, the napkins, the salt, the Cuervo, and this wonderful thing that you can carry it all in. And glasses. Oh yeah, because like when I do margaritas, I don't do stemware. So pint of margarita.
Me too.
Stemware is for people who intend to have one.
Or like drinking glass.
Yes, exactly.
It's all patio safe. Yeah.
All right. For a basket of tequila, do we have $100? We have 100. Do we have 110? Looking for 110. Do we have 100?
Lively group today.
110. 100 going once.
I'll do 110.
110. We have 110. Do we have 120? We have 120. Do we have 120? Thank you for pushing her out.
I get some beer for this.
120. 120 going once. 120 going twice. Sold. Lori.
Who brought this lovely basket?
That's from Dan Johnson.
Okay. So this is, it looks like it's everything that goes with the tequila. There are snacks and skewers. There's peanuts and something here, and cups and cheesy garlic snacks. So it's your party basket to soak up some of the alcohol.
All right. So There's no alcohol in this. I'm concerned starting at 100.
I don't see it any.
Why don't we open it up?
Okay. We're opening it.
Once it's open, it's not going back.
Okay, there are drink holders, there are drink cups, there's Parmesan cheese.
Inflatable cactus drink cup.
Yes.
Inflatable cactus. Oh, these are stemless wine glasses.
And they have lids on them too.
Plastic. Lids.
Oh,
wow.
Lids.
That's great.
Do you want to hear about it or you just want to laugh? Okay. Peach passion sangria, add to white wine. I guess you have to bring your own white wine.
Who brought this?
Dan
Dan
Johnson.
Johnson. No, but who brought it here? Did you leave the wine in your
Yeah. Okay, so this is a drinking accessory.
Yeah, drinking accessory.
Yeah.
So, sure, let's start at 100. Do we have 100? Do we have 75?
And there are palm tree stir sticks now, honestly.
There's no alcohol in it. Do we have 50? we have 50. Do we have 60? We have 50 going once, 50 going twice. Sold to Lori for 50, so now she has a nice
Trying to put it back together.
There we go. Good job.
Okay. Oh, good one. Yeah. I knew I had to stop asking engineers. Okay, thank you. Sorry, your face is fine. Okay. That is it. We'll have a total, maybe?
$950?
Okay, $950. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Terry. Tomas had to leave, actually. Moving on, any announcements real quick?
Hi guys, good morning. My name is Linus. I used to be an exchange student in 2014-2015 with Ferndale Rotary. I'm back. And thank you. I just quickly wanted to shout out a fundraiser that's going to be happening on the 13th of February. I believe it's a Tuesday. And it is their current foreign exchange student they're having right now that is doing it. And she's from Germany too, so I'm supporting it. Us Germans, we have to stick together. So it's gonna be a tri-tip barbecue with all the fixings, and there's gonna be a silent auction, and they're gonna auction off German alcohol. So and German candy too, which I can assure is really, really good. So unfortunately, I don't have any flyers I can give you because as exchange students, we're really poorly organized, unfortunately. But so February 13th, it starts at 7 p.m. It's in Ferndale by the fairgrounds at the Turf Club. And it is $20 a person, but $50 a family. So bring all your family, all your relatives, go there, bring a bunch of money, because she's trying to raise money for her 2 trips. So that's going to be the Hawaii trip, which is a 10-day trip to Hawaii, and I think like a 30-day Western Safari. They're going to go to all the big cities along the West Coast, making it all the way to the Grand Canyon, going to hit Las Vegas too. I went on both trips back in the day, and they're really amazing. It's a really great thing to support, and obviously Rotary Youth Exchange itself is pretty great. So yeah, February 13th, 7 p.m. Be there, bring a bunch of money, and yeah, they always have good alcohol. They always have good food. So it's always a fun time. So yeah, just quickly wanted to shout that out. Thank you.
Mary has an announcement.
Girl Scout cookie sales start on Monday. I'll be here next Friday with like an order form.
And my goal is to reach 600 bucks.
Yeah, there, you can do it, Mary.
Cool, I think you'll probably get it, I have a feeling. Any other announcements? All right, moving on to spring fundraiser. So we almost had the poster ready. We're gonna make a few changes to it. If you want to see it, I've got it on my laptop here. See me afterwards, but I wanted to wait till it was perfect. It looks amazing, though. A few of you have seen it, the copy already, and it's amazing. So tonight's dubbed an Evening Out West, Wild Western theme. Saloon theme, so it's going to be a great event, simple, everyone has Western attire, so this is not the other. Last night I sent out a sign-up genius for everyone with the different committees that we need to fill in our spots, so please take a look at that and do sign up. It's all hands on deck for this one. We're going to hit the ground guns blazing, like I said in the email. So Romy, do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, well, Siva?
No, I want like
Since
we came to an agreement.
So we've been saying that it's a beautiful partnership with Humboldt State and our Rotary Club. And you know, folks have been saying, where's that money going to go? And the committee has come up with, I think, just the most beautiful solution. And that is to, the money will go for scholarships for local students with financial need to attend Humboldt State. And just if you're not aware, in just the last 10 years, the tuition for California State universities have gone up nearly 100%. And at the same time, the amount of financial assistance that comes to those students in loans and grants has gone down. And so when you add it all up, what it costs a student for tuition and food and books and transportation costs on average for a Humboldt State student is nearly $25,000. And a family who is determined to have 0 EFC, and that means they are determined to have a 0 amount of money that they can contribute to their child's education. And that's all based on the tax documents that they present. Those families, 0 estimated family contribution, still only get about 19,000 altogether, including loans. And so those families with really no ability to pay beyond their bills monthly are left to come up with about $6,000 to pay for their kids' education every year. And that's going to a California State University, which is one of the lowest tuitions in the nation. And so there's a lot of financial need out there. And I think it's really beautiful that what we're going to be doing is helping outstanding local students who have financial need attend Humboldt State University. I think it's a beautiful thing we can all be really excited about. That's how this year's fundraiser, 50% is going to go to that, and 50% to do all the good we do.
See, do you want to tag anything on with that, or
I just wanted to say that the partnership with HSU, Rotary will always be able to designate where the funds go. So next year, if we decide to do something else, then we can do that, or we can stay with local scholarships. But I think the scholarships hits home for everybody, and it's something that you can really show. Thanks to Romy, she brought that to the group. So.
And the theme too is building a stronger community, and that really is in line with that value and our club's values and HSU as well. So
There's
please.
great kids here.
Exactly. We don't want to brain drain in Humboldt County.
That's right.
So yeah, please do look at that and sign up for at least one committee if you can, and ask me if you have questions. In general, we have the fundraiser meetings here at Plaza Grill, 6 o'clock on Wednesdays, unless I'll say otherwise. But yeah, let's make this happen, and I look forward. I'll send out the final poster. It should be done this afternoon to everyone, so y'all can see it and whatnot. But it's really exciting. It's going to be a fun event. So with that, I was kind of coming to a loss of quotes here, and I was looking up Western quotes, and if anything, this one made me laugh more than it has any sort of value or meaning. More chaps, less apps. What's up?
Election results.
And we actually do have the election results. So voting committee tallied up the ballots, and then make sure. It looks like AJ has passed the ballot.
That's an upset.
What percentage of the vote did he get?
100%. So we don't think we retaliate, but unanimous.
That's a mandate.
You forgot mine.
Exactly. You know, that's
Did you vote for someone else?
Did you vote for someone else? right, y'all have a good week. Please do sign up, and we'll see you soon.